Hello everybody, Mercury or Buddha in the Vedic system is turning retrograde on May the 11th, 22, and he will stay retrograde until June the 3rd. During this time, he enters a close combustion with the sun on May the 22nd. What will this mean for you and for the world? All the details are on the video. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. If the video is good for you, give it a thumbs up. Let's begin. Well, everybody, this Mercury retrograde is one of the most constructive retrogrades of Mercury I've seen for a long time. Mercury is in Taurus, and in the sign of Taurus, he's more than happy. He's in the sign of his good friend Venus. He's very harmonious here. He's the business planet, communication, money, transactions, everything to do with stock market, all of these deals, and he's in the sign which favors this more than almost any other sign, the sign of Taurus. The first week, in fact, of the transit is the most disruptive because Mercury finds himself aspected strongly by Mars in Aquarius with his fourth aspect, but after that he becomes unafflicted. So be really careful about financial gain and anything to do with property and home affairs. I'll show you why. Because Mercury in the sign of Taurus has two dispositors, Venus and the Moon. Venus is with Jupiter in Pisces. That seems absolutely wonderful, but there's a papkartery going on. Saturn and Mars, Sun and Rahu. There couldn't be more malefic squeezing Venus and Jupiter. We must remember this and not expect outright miracles until the right date, which I'm going to show you. In addition, the other dispositor of Mercury is the Moon, because the Moon also rules Taurus, you should know, and the Moon is 4 houses away, a very strongly placed Moon in the 4th house. It's excellent, but not at the beginning of the transit. Why? Because Mars rules property, housing affairs, and he is afflicting Mercury. So 4th house issues, buying property, selling, moving, decorating, doing anything about home improvement, real estate issues, even buying cars and vehicles. It's all going to go pretty crazy in the first week or two of the transit. Take caution about that. Of course, in addition to these specific factors of this Mercury retrograde in Taurus transit, expect the usual Mercury retrograde factors to occur for everyone. Delays in communications, misunderstanding, travel becomes delayed, disrupted, stressful. There is difficulty with digital technology, internet, computers. Not a good time to buy a device, by the way. And it's very stressful if you should be in education. It is, of course, in many parts of the world, examination season. If you are a student taking exams, be ready for stress because examination bureaucracy is going to be going a little bit crazy. So best thing is be prepared and make yourself calm in the face of these disruptions. Why am I saying, everyone, it's such a favorable Mercury retrograde transit? This is the reason. Because Mercury, first of all, is happy in Taurus, wants to give good benefic factors, but also because when the Sun, friend to Mercury, comes into the combustion situation, he is the ruler of the 4th house from Mercury, Leo. Leo, and the ruler of Leo is a functional benefic for Taurus. So we can expect that this special combustion of the Sun and Mercury is going to give incredible benefits and new openings in everybody's life. That date, everyone, is the 22nd of May. So a day before 21st, a day after 23rd, somewhere around this date, there will be a complete breakthrough in the difficult situation you are facing. It normally comes because some new information is startlingly made available to you. In the Vedic Shastras, it's always said that when Mercury Buddha combusts with Ravi the sun gives to Mercury the information Mercury needs to continue on with his dealings. So wherever you've been stuck in whatever department of your life where there's been misunderstandings, miscommunication, a real lack of direction, it's going to all change around the date of the 22nd of May. How to use the readings for best effect? I'm using the Vedic sidereal zodiac. You should use your ascendant sign and your moon sign. Read for both. They are both equally important. If you should have a Western chart, you must take away 23 degrees from the position of your ascendant and your moon to make sure you have the correct sign. Let's begin. For Aries Moon and Aries Ascendant, Mercury is the lord of your third house of enterprise and ego issues and the sixth house of conflict. Mercury gets you into some mighty arguments, Aries. Watch out for them. They're going to definitely come in this period when Mercury goes retrograde in the second house of your chart. It's all about family members and difficult financial decisions. For all Aries people, this Mercury retrograde gives you a little bit of the jitters. You're a bit insecure about your financial situation, about your family situation, about your long-term security. If you're in business, it's really going to impact you because it's aspecting the 8th house of business dealings. Don't make a strong business move, business change, whatever you do, until at least you have the information I've just spoken about around the period of the combustion. Around that combustion date, the 22nd of May, you will find the secrets of your competitors. You will get the information from your family members, from your business dealings. You'll be able to make a much more startling and much more productive move financially. After that date, you'll be able slowly to think about opening new business accounts, investing, changing your savings, wills, legacies become sorted out in your favor. And finally, if you are on any diet, because Mercury is your 6th house lord, it's going to go completely crazy, at the beginning of the transit. When Mercury goes retrograde, don't be too hard on yourself. It's going to make you feel very stressed. But there's something wrong with that diet. And at the time of the combustion, 22nd of May, you will get information about the right food and drink regime for yourself. For Taurus Moon and Taurus Ascendant, Mercury in the first house of your chart is a really strong position for Mercury. When he goes retrograde, he's super strong. It's a really favorable transit for you, no matter how disruptive and how indecisive you become, and you probably will do. Mercury is your 2nd house lord. He can bring family issues up. Miscommunications with your family will abound at the beginning. Even with your children, they may be having issues, or issues with conception, starting a family may be there, but these are definitely all temporary. Mercury retrograde 1st house is extremely powerful to start you on a whole new business deal, on a whole new direction in your working and financial life. Because of Mercury's 7th aspect onto the 7th house of the chart, misunderstandings with your partner, spouse, close friends, business colleagues, even with consultants, people you see medically, or even financial consultants will abound. You'll be very confused about what your next move should be, but hold fire, because actually all of this confusion is going to work out in your favor. After the combustion I've spoken about, where your functional benefic planet, the sun, combusts with Mercury 1st house, you can sort out domestic situations. Mother's health improves. Everything about your home life suddenly becomes much more favorable, and a absolutely new business or job opportunity comes to you, giving you confidence to make a move you'd had so many doubts about before. Even your health improves because Mercury is in the 1st house of your health. Gemini Moon, Gemini Lagna, your Lord Mercury has gone retrograde in Taurus in a strong position, but in the 12th house of your chart. Watch out, because you're going to be feeling very restless, getting headaches, getting lack of sleep, getting insomnia, getting all sorts of phobias, worries and concerns coming into your mind. You're going round in circles at the beginning of this Mercury retrograde period. You're having confusion over your domestic situation. Mother's health may be also trying for you, and you want to move, you want to get away, because Mercury's giving you itchy feet in the house of foreign lands. But any foreign travel, any move during this time, particularly the first 2 weeks, as I've just explained to you, is going to be very disruptive and not helpful at all. As well as this, Gemini, your health is coming up with some difficult factors. Mercury's aspecting the 6th house of health. Since Mercury is your 4th house lord, you're getting very stressed about your domestic situation, about wanting to move, but you're just going round in circles. Expenses in your home have gone over the top now, and that's also causing you stress and concern. Don't buy a house. Don't make a home move until Mercury at least gets to the combustion date of the 22nd, and even far better when he's gone direct again after this transit, because you're going to be spending more than you need to on any property home improvement situation, and it's just not worth it. If you have pets, small animals, they may be having difficulties due to Mercury's aspect onto the 6th house. But once again, it will all work out after the combustion I've spoken about on the video, 22nd of May. The whole Mercury 12th house retrograde transit is going to turn you back on yourself, make you a little bit secretive, a little bit afraid to communicate. But actually, you get incredible insight from your dreams. Watch out for the combustion of the sun with Mercury on the 22nd of May. Get a dream diary out. You're going to get some incredible information at that time. During this somewhat stressful time, make sure that you get enough relaxation and enough sleep as well, because Mercury can, worst case scenario, even give insomnia. So try to relax. There's nothing to worry about whatsoever. This is a very useful transit for you. Take it easy. Don't travel if you can avoid it, and you will get the information you need to start a whole new venture when Mercury goes into the 1st house of your chart immediately after this transit. For Cancer Moon and Cancer Lagna, Mercury is always tricky for you, and when he goes retrograde and gets strength, he becomes more tricky. But this time, he's in a strong place in your chart, and he's actually about to benefit you. The first thing is some of your plans in regard to income, new jobs, interviews, expanding into your workplace, and definitely foreign travel are going to have to be put on the back burner. Travel becomes very difficult at the beginning of this transit. It's probably best to avoid it if you can. There's difficulties going on with your colleagues, maybe hidden information that you're not aware of in your working environment. Also, your network circles of friends are becoming incredibly unreliable, and you're feeling a little bit like you've been left in the lurch. Children may be having issues because of Mercury's 7th aspect retrograde onto the 5th house. There may be delays in their education. They may be having health problems. If you are a student, you're going to have a lot of stress in your education situation. But once again, it's going to calm down pretty quickly. But if you hold fire despite the confusion, particularly for your earnings, for your income, for your promotion situations, everything about your work situation, which is causing you doubt and confusion, it's going to completely evaporate after the combustion of Mercury with the sun, your 2nd house lord. All of a sudden, that pay rise is going to come to you. That new job is definitely good for you, and you're going to find the right interview technique that gets you the job you want. It's just not very good in the first 2 weeks, so don't give up hope. There is no need to despair of your dreams. For Leo Ascendant and Leo Moon, Mercury is the lord of your 2nd house. He brings in security when he goes retrograde. It's happening in the 10th house of your career. All of a sudden, there's miscommunication in your career, in your job. There's so many changes, so many disruptions. It's become a little bit chaotic, and it's causing you a great deal of stress. And it's actually impacting on your whole domestic situation as well. Domestic moves are delayed, changes are delayed, and it's all making you feel very, very frustrated at the beginning of the transit. Business deals, financial situation, stock market, everything to do with 2nd house is not good when Mercury's retrograde 10th house. Wait to make these moves when Mercury goes into your 11th house, very favorable for you, and that will be at the end of this Taurus transit. For everyone, though, the very favourable date is when your lord, the sun, is in combustion with Mercury in the 10th house of your chart. What startling information comes to you in your career. All of a sudden, it's very clear what your next move is, where your whole future lies. It may be a whole new job, a whole move of department, a whole new career even. Whatever it is, you have to go in this new direction. And aspecting to your 4th house, even property deals become clearer how they can be successfully made. So your whole life is turning on the axis of this combustion, and it's going to be a very favorable factor. For Virgo Ascendant and Virgo Moon signs, Mercury is your lord, and when he goes retrograde, things come a little bit unstuck for you always, but this time it's happening in the 9th house of your chart. It's going to give you incredible new sense of direction and inner faith, even though things don't seem to be going that way to begin with. At the beginning, if you are in education particularly, it's going to go pretty crazy because Mercury in the 9th house shows that your whole education course is just becoming chaotic. There's miscommunication with your teachers, with your lecturers, and you feel like throwing in the whole thing. There's difficulty with your father, with guru figures, mentors of any sort for everybody, and it's making you feel very stressed. Also, miscommunication with your siblings and your cousins. You're feeling like everybody's putting pressure on you, but you're unclear of your direction. But don't make any quick moves, because Mercury in this 9th house is actually very favorable in terms of giving you the information you need to make the right move in regard to education or any dealing with foreign lands, by the way. So what you have to do is you have to wait until a combustion occurs, because it occurs when the sun, which is the lord of your 12th house, brings you incredible information. The sun rules 12th house. Mercury is in the 9th house. It's about a deep spiritual awareness coming to you during this transit. Where you've lacked faith in your inner direction, particularly spiritual factors, it definitely comes to you. Education becomes very much less disruptive when you realize what it is you really want out of it. That's the key. So Mercury here, retrograde, going combust with your 12th house lord, will actually give you the right information to make a move which suits your future perfectly. So all of the chaos, all of the disruption, miscommunication, travel difficulties, lack of direction in life, all of a sudden you're going to feel this inner intuition that now you know what you have to do, and it's all going to come at the time of the combustion, the 22nd of May. Libra Moon, Libra Ascendant. You're going through a whole crisis in this Mercury retrograde period. It seems to be very difficult, but then resolves itself in the most amazing way. There's a crisis happening in your financial situation. Expenses are getting out of control. Business partnerships are under tremendous stress, and even financial factors with your spouse are extremely stressful. If there are wills, legacies, joint financial situations with your family, they're going to be extremely stressful, not working out to begin with, at least the way you had expected. You're feeling a high amount of stress during this Mercury retrograde period, though, and also because your 9th house lord has gone 12th to himself, it's a definite not good time for travel. Any travel at all, really, if you can avoid it. But the good news is when the combustion occurs in this 8th house, you will finally cut your losses. You may stop a whole business situation developing any further. You may make great changes to your savings, investments, stock market deals. So after Mercury turns direct, you will make these in a really wise way. Just take the information now around 22nd of May to absolutely what your best financial move will be. Watch your health as well, and also watch what you're eating. Mercury retrograde and a combustion also opposing the 2nd house of food. You may have to give up some dietary regime. It's just not right for you, but new information coming to you shows you why it's not working. So don't be stressed. Don't consider yourself a failure at this time. You are definitely not that. For Scorpio Ascendant, Scorpio Moon, it's a bit irritating for you when Mercury goes into a Maracastana weak position in the 7th house, and he's super powerful as well. Retrograde, it's taking all the power out of your hands, and you're becoming irritated by other people's slowness, other people's indecision. It's impacting understanding with your spouse, with your girlfriend, boyfriend, even with your very close friends. There's misunderstandings, miscommunications, and you're feeling very much like withdrawing into yourself because of all the stress. It seems like partner, business partner, close friends, everybody are going back on what they said they would originally do. And it's making you feel insecure and intensely annoyed, as I say. So try to keep your deep feelings to yourself. That's not hard for you, Scorpio, for a little while, because after the combustion, relationship situations smooth out. After 22nd of May, you have that deep communication with your friends, partners, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever it is, that shows you the way forward for your relationship. It's not a good time to start a new business or make any changes to your current business situation. Whether you're working for yourself or with somebody else, it doesn't really matter. The marketplace has become chaotic and uncertain. Wait until the combustion date, 22nd of May, when the information of your business situation becomes very clear, when the marketplace becomes crystal clear then, and you will see that actually it was not as bad as you thought, and that you don't have to make those complete changes you thought you were going to have to make. Another factor for Scorpio is that Mercury is your 8th house lord. He rules chronic health conditions, and going retrograde in its Morikastana position, health conditions can become exasperated during this retrograde Mercury transit. But don't fear. At the combustion, once again, 22nd of May, consultation will help you, and you will definitely find relief from these long-standing conditions. For Sagittarius, Ascendant and Moon sign, Mercury, the lord of your 7th and 10th, so much important for your business and career dealings, has gone into the 6th house of health and of legal and conflicting factors. So there's going to be quite a lot of difficulties dealing with business matters, bosses, superiors, and even colleagues during the next few weeks. Now, Mercury here can give you health issues, most definitely, and you can become very stressed by these. Sometimes even you have to go into hospital or to get some medical help immediately. Don't be afraid of this. It's definitely short term. How do we know? Because the Sun is coming forward to combust with Mercury in this 6th house. Sun is powerful here. He will give you the right consultation, right medication, right advice, and you will quickly come out of all of this health crisis. But Mercury in this house, though, does give you quite a lot of stress and makes you feel under the weather mentally because you can't relax. Mercury's aspect to the 12th house could give you sleepless nights, insomnia, worry, and all sorts of headaches, basically, because you're unsure of your direction, because he is your 10th house lord. If you're having consultation with your boss, conversations with your boss, job interviews, all of these things are going to be quite stressful at this time. You may be having real doubts about this new opportunity, but don't forget, once again, at the combustion with the Sun, at the 22nd of May, you will get the information to make the right career decision, definitely. And by the way, travel is extremely stressful when you have Mercury aspecting 12th house of your chart. If you can avoid it, you should do. For Capricorn, Ascending Capricorn Moon, it's a very beneficial Mercury retrograde transit for you. He's your 9th house lord. He's in a powerful sign. He's in a sign of Venus, friend to your lord Shani. So you're going to benefit by all the confusion, all the disruption, all the miscommunication. You might even enjoy it because you will get so much profit out of the new information coming your way during the transit. In addition, litigation issues, legal issues, because the lord of your 6th has gone back into the 5th house, are going to go your way after some difficult delay. And even health issues are going to dramatically improve during this transit. At the beginning of the transit, though, confrontations with your work colleagues, with your network circles, even with your children, you're feeling extremely stressed out. If you're trying to start a family, there will also be delays. But all of these delays are only making it more wonderful when you get the final success you've been looking for. For Aquarius Ascendant and Aquarius Moon sign, Mercury is a good planet for you, friend to your lord Saturn and Rahu. And when he goes retrograde in a powerful position, he actually benefits you in his Kendra house, 4th house, even though he's going to bring up some amazingly difficult issues to begin with. If you're moving house, buying property, decorating, doing just anything about domestic situation, there's going to be a huge delay and it's going to be a little bit of a crisis because Mercury is your 8th house lord. It's going to all be costing more than you could ever imagine and it's not going to be done to your satisfaction. So avoid purchasing property, avoid making any domestic moves if you can during this retrograde period. Making business deals also is not favorable until at least Mercury's combustion has occurred, which is on the 22nd of May. At that time, you'll get the information you need to make the right property deal. You would see there was something definitely wrong with the former arrangement, and you'll be so glad that you waited. Family situations also get enlightened. Mother's health may have been really worrying, and you get help to see how that can improve after 22nd. And you feel much more peaceful because Mercury retrograde, 4th house, makes you very restless, like you just want to get away from everything, but it's not a favorable time for that. For some of you, the home-work balance isn't working, and you may be working from home, but it's just not working out for you. A new way to work in your office or going to work in a completely new direction needs to happen, and it's going to be sorted out during this transit. Conversations with your boss can be very, very good during this time, especially after 22nd of May with your superiors. New information comes to you, making you happier in your work direction. Job interviews can also be successful, but once again, after the 22nd of May. It's a bit trying, this transit for Pisces Moon and Ascendant, because Mercury rules your 7th house. It's in the sign of Taurus, and Venus is not a friend to your Lord Jupiter, even a friend to your secondary Lord K2. So basically, there's confrontations going on with so many people during this transit. You're communicating a lot more with your siblings, neighbors, cousins even, and new information is coming to you from them, but it's all very stressful and a little bit unexpected. The first week with Mars in the 12th house disrupting your sleep and even giving you insomnia and aspecting Mercury, you're extremely restless. Any travel at this time, local travel, foreign travel, will be even more disruptive and just not helping you relax at all. Try to avoid it if you can. If you are in education, you're confused about your direction because Mercury aspects the 9th house of higher education. And speaking to your teachers, mentors isn't going to help either. It's just going to compound the whole confusion. You're really feeling a bit at a loss at the beginning of this transit. Try to find some calm within yourself because it's soon going to unravel for you. However, when the Sun, which is Lord of your 6th house, combusts with Mercury in this 3rd house, you'll get the confidence to put your view forward. You may have been afraid to speak out honestly with all of these people, but you're going to have to do so after the 22nd of May. Even with your father, there needs to be a real understanding between you. That has been difficult also, by the way. So, cousins, siblings, work colleagues, maybe, because Sun is your 6th house Lord, father, teacher, gurus. You've got to come out and explain your worries, your concerns to them. And as soon as you do this, Pisces, there'll be so much support coming your way. Do not fear. Check out my playlist of current transits right up on your screen. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now and God bless everyone.